Hello students, let us begin the second part of trends and properties of group 17 elements. Here the first one is oxidizing property. Halogens can be represented as X. They are good oxidizing agents. That means it oxidizes others and at the same time that itself reduced. That means it accepts electrons. So halogens are generally behave as a good oxidizing agent. That means it oxidizes others at the same time itself reduced. So that is the oxidizing property. Then comes to the group. When we are moving down the group, what is the trend? So trend in a group regarding oxidizing property. The oxidizing property actually decreases down the group. That is a trend. So the oxidizing property decreases down the group. That means fluorine, that is the best oxidizing agent, or that is the best oxidant. Here fluorine is the best oxidizing agent, or we can say it's a good oxidant, best oxidizing agent. So the decreasing order can be written as fluorine, chlorine, bromine and iodine. So this is the decreasing order of oxidation property of group 17 elements. So fluorine is the best oxidizing agent. So fluorine can oxidize chlorine, bromine and iodine. Then chlorine can oxidize bromine and iodine. Bromine can oxidize iodine. So fluorine can oxidize, since it is the best oxidizing agent, fluorine can oxidize chlorine, bromine and iodine. Then chlorine can oxidize bromine and iodine. Bromine can oxidize iodine only. So let's see the equations. So fluorine can oxidize chlorine. So fluorine can oxidize chlorine. That means F2 plus Cl minus gives F minus plus Cl2. So here fluorine can oxidize Cl minus to Cl2. This is oxidation. Then this F2 itself reduced to F minus. So this is reduction. So when we are seeing the oxidation state F2, it is 0. Here it is minus 1. Here it is minus 1. Here it is 0. So 0 to minus 1, that is reduction. Minus 1 to 0, that is oxidation. So we can write the next equation also. F2 plus Br minus gives 2F minus plus Br2. Here F2 changes to F minus, that is reduction. Br minus changes to Br2, that is oxidation. Next is F2 plus I minus, that is 2F minus plus I2. So F2 reduced to F minus, I minus oxidized to I2. So that is with fluorine. In the case of chlorine also we can write the similar equations. So in the same way we can write chlorine, Cl2 plus, it can oxidize bromine and iodine. So Br minus and I minus. So it changes to Cl2 itself reduced to 2Cl minus. Here this changes to, this is oxidation, Br minus changes to Br2. Here it is I2. Then Br oxidizes I. So Br2 plus I minus gives 2Br minus plus I2. Here Br2 itself reduced to Br minus, I minus changes to, that is oxidation. It is oxidation and this is reduction. So this is about the oxidizing property. So fluorine is the best oxidizing agent, then chlorine, then bromine and then iodine. So fluorine is the best oxidizing agent or the best oxidant. So the question is, which is the strong oxidizing agent or oxidant in group 17, that is fluorine. Then let's see another question, that is an important question. Despite fluorine has less electron gain enthalpy, it's a strong oxidizing agent than chlorine. Why? So let's see the answer. So the question is, fluorine is having less electron gain enthalpy. We have seen, or we have discussed about the electron gain enthalpy of fluorine. Fluorine has less negative electron gain enthalpy. Electron gain enthalpy, here the energy is released, so it will be a negative value, or we can say fluorine has less electron gain enthalpy, but it is a strong oxidizing, it is a strong oxidizing agent. How it is possible? So before that, before answering the question, we will see what are the factors favorable for, or what are the factors depends on oxidizing property. The first factor is low bond dissociation enthalpy. Second one is high electron gain enthalpy, and third one is high hydration enthalpy. So these are the three factors favorable for oxidation. So one chemical species is to become a good oxidizing agent, these three factors to be satisfied. So one is low bond dissociation enthalpy, high electron gain enthalpy, and third one is high hydration enthalpy. So let's see what is bond dissociation enthalpy. Let's represent bond dissociation enthalpy. So if X2 become 2x, here this bond breaks. So between x and x the bond breaks and 2x become formed, and delta H will be bond dissociation enthalpy. That will be a positive value. Here energy is released. That is about bond dissociation enthalpy. Then regarding electron gain enthalpy, what can be the representation? This X is added with an electron, it changes to X minus. So in that case, when electron is added, delta H EGE, that will be a negative value since energy will be released. So this is about electron gain enthalpy. Then what about hydration enthalpy? So hydration enthalpy is when this ion is added with water. So this become aqueous. So this in this step, delta H HE, hydration enthalpy, that become a negative value since energy is released. So these are the steps involved in the case of bond dissociation enthalpy, electron gain enthalpy, and hydration enthalpy. So the factors depending on the oxidizing properties: low bond dissociation enthalpy, high electron gain enthalpy, and high hydration enthalpy. Let's see the case with fluorine. In the case of fluorine, we have studied it is having low electron gain enthalpy. Even if it is having low electron gain enthalpy, it is a good oxidizing agent. So let's see the other factors. Bond dissociation enthalpy. In the case of fluorine, we know that there is less energy is needed to break the bond, since there is interelectronic repulsion. So low bond dissociation enthalpy is there for fluorine. So it is having low bond dissociation enthalpy, that we have already seen. And let's see the next thing, that is high hydration enthalpy. In the case of fluorine, we know that fluorine is the most electronegative element. Since fluorine is the most electronegative element, it can attach with water. So it can attach with water. So lots of water molecules will be attached with fluorine since it is highly electronegative. So there will be more amount of energy is released in this case, and we can see there is high hydration enthalpy. So even if there is low electron gain enthalpy, the other two factors are favorable. So these two factors are favorable, but this factor is not favorable. So in this case, it is low. In the case of fluorine, it is low. But these two factors are favorable for fluorine. So even if there is low electron gain enthalpy, there is low bond dissociation enthalpy and high hydration enthalpy in the case of fluorine. That is why it acts as a good oxidizing agent. So these 2 points are important. Fluorine has low bond dissociation enthalpy and high hydration enthalpy. That is why it acts as a good oxidizing agent. Now let's see the next point, that is oxidation state. So halogens, group 17 elements are having the outer shell configuration or the general electronic configuration. General electronic configuration is NS2 NP NP5. General electronic configuration of halogen is NS2 NP5. So orbital diagram maybe like this. NS2 NP5 is the electronic configuration. That is a general electronic configuration of group 70. So let's see the range of oxidation state. In order to get the lowest oxidation state, we have to subtract 80 from the group number. So it will be -1. So -1 is the lowest oxidation state. Then comes 17 minus 10 in order to get the highest oxidation state, that is +7. So -1 to +7, that is the range of oxidation state in the case of halogens. So the oxidation state, common oxidation states are here. I have written it is for fluorine 0 and -1, chlorine, bromine and iodine, they are showing -1, 0, and positive oxidation states like +3, +5 and +7. So in the case of fluorine, there is no positive oxidation state. So no positive oxidation state is possible for fluorine, but positive oxidation state that is possible for chlorine, bromine and iodine. So that is another question. Fluorine doesn't show positive oxidation state. Why? So that is an important question. In the case of fluorine, there is no vacant d orbitals. No vacant d orbitals. So it can't expand its octet. So it can't expand its octet since there is no vacant d orbitals. No vacant d orbitals are there in the case of fluorine, but there are vacant d orbitals in the case of other halogen atoms. So positive oxidation state that is possible for other elements. So let's see the positive oxidation states of chlorine. I will show you how it is possible. So in the case of chlorine, we know there is 3s2, 3p5 is the outer shell configuration. So in the first or in the ground state, this is the configuration. This is the ground state electronic configuration. So in the first excited state, so there are 3D possible, 3D orbitals are possible. So vacant d orbitals are there. So in the case of first excited state, this one electron is promoted to, the d level. So this is possible in the case of chlorine. This is not possible in the case of fluorine. So one electron is excited from this p orbital to the d orbital and becomes, so this will be the configuration in the case of first excited state of chlorine. So we can see 1, 2 and 3. So 3 unpaired electrons are there. 3 unpaired electrons. So plus 3 can be the oxidation state. So plus 3 is possible for chlorine. So that is the case with plus 3. So if one more electron is excited from this p orbital to d orbital, there will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 unpaired electrons will be there. So there will be plus 5 oxidation state. So that will be in the case with second excited state. Then in the case of third excited state, one electron from the s orbital also excited to the d orbital. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there will be 7 unpaired electrons and the oxidation state will be plus 7. So that is with the third excited state. So this is possible in the case of chlorine onwards. That means there are vacant d orbitals in this case, but there is no vacant d orbital in the case of fluorine. So no excitation of electrons that is possible for fluorine. So it can't expand its octet. So there is no positive oxidation state that is not possible in the case with fluorine. So fluorine doesn't show positive oxidation state, but other elements show positive oxidation state. So that is about the oxidation state. Next one is reaction with the water. So reaction with water, fluorine can oxidize water to oxygen. So with water, a reaction with the water. So fluorine is the best oxidizing agent. It's a good oxidizing agent. It can oxidize water to, or H2O to oxygen. So that is a reaction that we can see here. F2 plus H2O gives O2 plus HF. That means H2O changes to O2. So this is oxidation and this is reduction. So since fluorine is a good oxidizing agent, it can oxidize water to H2O to O2. So this is oxidation, and F2 changes to F minus here. Reduction takes place. So F2 changes to HF here. So this is reduction. So H2O changes to O2, that is oxidation. Here F2 acts as a good oxidizing agent that can oxidize water to O2. The next case, chlorine and bromine reacts in the same way, that is we can write HOH. Br or Cl. So we can write HCl and HOCl. So here the products are HCl and HOCl. Here HBr and HOBr. So these two equations are important. In this case, here Cl2 oxidizes water and this changes to HCl and HOCl. Here it is HBr to HOBr. But in the case of iodine, there is no reaction. So this is a reaction with the water. So this is about the second part of trends in properties.